if you have a Mac Pro 4.1 or 5.1 like I got, and you do some video editing work, you might be like, oh, well, what's the best modifications I can do on it to have the quickest export speed? Well, that's a dilemma I've been having, so I decided, well, let's buy some components and switch a few things up and see if the speed does improve. So I had two of these W5590 processors. They're 4-core each, so I had 8-core processor. I had a AMD Radeon Nitro Plus RX 570 4GB graphics card in there, and then I have just a SSD running off the standard hard drive slot. So what I did is I upgraded to the X5690, 6-core each, so it became a 12-core, and then I tested it with the 4GB graphics card, and then with I bought a Radeon RX 570 Sapphire 8GB graphics card, so should be about the same spec with just more memory, and ran it through, and some of the stuff I wasted my money. Other stuff, other mods, it actually helped speed things up. So with the W5590 and the 4GB graphics card, my Final Cut Pro exported in ProRes 444 high quality. It took 13 minutes 40 seconds. With the same processor, just the 8GB graphics card with the 580, it exported in 13 minutes 39 seconds. 1 second difference, so that's not significant. I then changed out the processor to the X5690, and it exported the same exact video. I didn't change it a bit. It exported in 11 minutes and 13 seconds, so about a minute and a half, a little over a minute and a half decrease, almost 2 minutes, depending on how I stop the time. That's with the 4GB graphics card. With the 8GB graphics card, same processor, it was 11 minutes and 12 seconds. So double the video RAM, only shaved off 1 second. And I mean, for $500 to shave off a minute and like 30 some seconds, because I paid $400 for the graphics card, $100 for the CPU, to shave off a minute and 30 seconds. Yeah, that's not a very wise contribution. Time out. Just wanted to also mention that all these results you're seeing, I am on iOS or OS X, whatever it is now. I'm on High Sierra 10.13.6, which is pretty old, but I use Boot Camp, so I need it. If you're using higher than Mojave, you can hacktivate the graphics acceleration that will dramatically reduce the times you're seeing here. So if you're not using Boot Camp, you can get Mojave still on the computers, and then definitely run that activator. However, if you have an AMD Radeon that uses the Polaris chip, so that's the RX 570, 80, and 90, you will not be able to run it, which is another reason why I didn't upgrade. You'll need like the Vega 56, 64, Radeon 3 graphics cards like that, so that's why I didn't opt to that, because, well, it'd crash all the time. So that's why I chose not to go that way. So then, to further the losses, I decided to pick up one of these. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to stick your SSD on it and then plug it into a PCIe slot, quoting to double your speeds, because I'm getting like 200 megabytes per second read and write just off this SATA 2 bays. Well, stuck that in the PCIe. I'm getting 400 some megabytes per second read and write, which is pretty good for my SSD that my video exports to. So, same exact video in Final Cut Pro. I haven't modified it, haven't touched it, changed nothing. Exported it to that hard drive, and I got 11 minutes and 4 seconds. So I saved, what, 12 or 8 seconds. Double the writing speed and reading speed. And I saved 8 seconds for $40. That's like $20 every 4 seconds. Yeah, so, yeah. I'm not too thrilled with how I modified it. And I got like 96 gigs of RAM, so yeah. But if you're looking to modify your Mac Pro, the best bang for the buck is these 5690 processors. They'll save you. And I also wanted to mention, my main reason isn't to get this get the export time down to like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. My main purpose is to get it down a little bit, or just to see the differences, because I have a 2012 MacBook Pro that I usually edit with, and it will handle most videos just fine. 1080p, 2.7K, sure, the occasional 4K, but I've gone through 4 logic boards on it. 4 logic boards I've burnt through on my MacBook Pro editing videos because it overheats, desolders the chip. So my main reason for using my Mac Pro is just so if it takes 20 minutes to export a video, fine, I'm in no rush. I just don't want to overheat my MacBook Pro and burn that out, because that's my daily driver. Use it all the time, day in, day out. Versus this, I can keep running for 2-3 hours if it exports. I don't care. I just don't want to burn out my main MacBook Pro, because the graphics card or the logic boards are getting really expensive. $400. You could practically buy you a M1 Mac that's been used and abused for what these 2012 MacBook Pros are running for. But